So, the Ben Chiarot trade has officially happened. It came to fruition last night, right when I was in the middle of editing a Habs news update. Thank you very much, Kent Hughes.
The hockey junkie.
Don't you start with me.
The hockey junkie.
Shut it, Kent. So, since yesterday was such a long day for me, I figured, hey, I'd let the information sink in before I gave my thoughts. I'd marinate the deal for 24 hours or more, but let me tell ya, I love it right now just as much as I loved it then. It's a juicy return. So in today's video, we're going to talk all about the Ben Chiarot trade. We're going to break down the return. We're going to talk about some interesting comments made by Ben Chiarot himself. We'll get into the Kent Hughes press conference just a little bit, and then I'm going to shut up, and we're all going to exit YouTube together, and we're all going to drink some beer and go to bed. Right? But first, before we begin, if you're a fan of the Habs or just first round draft picks, everybody likes some of those, then please consider subscribing to my channel as I upload a crap ton of hockey content and would really enjoy having some more of you grasshoppers tag along for the ride. Alright, so here's what went down here. The Canadiens sent Big Bad Ben Chiarot on over to Florida with 50% of his salary retained. And in exchange, the Canadiens get 20-year-old Ty Smilmanek, or however the hell you say his name, who we're going to talk about a little bit later. They also get the biggest piece of all, Florida's 2023 first-round draft pick and the fourth-round draft pick in this year's draft of 2022. And again, this was a beauty return. This is exactly the kind of return Habs fans should have been hoping for. Not only do the Canadiens now have 2 first-round draft picks in 2022, with the additional one coming from the Tyler Toffoli deal, but they now have 2 more first-round draft picks in 2023 for trading their rental, Ben Chiarot. It's awesome. It really is. And it's even different for Habs fans, because we're not really used to having these many high picks in the first round. Grant McCagg pointed this out on Twitter earlier today, and it's hard to imagine. Random thought. In all the years that Marc Bergevin was general manager of the Montreal Canadiens, he never once received a first-round draft pick from any other team via trade. But our new dynamic duo of Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon, put them together and these two form some kind of a chemical named Hugo. They did it, and they did it twice. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really digging the idea of the 2023 first-round draft pick. According to Kent Hughes himself, he mentioned this at the press conference earlier today, this was exactly what they were asking for from the very beginning, because of course it was. Next year, that draft is supposed to be deep. And what Mr. Clean wants, Mr. Clean gets. Now all we need is to complete the plan, alright? You know what I'm talking about? Next year rolls around, the Habs are playing the Panthers, and they give them a couple, shall we say, unfortunate injuries. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like maybe when nobody's looking, Michael Pizzetta pins down Alexander Barkov and bites his kneecaps or something. It would be a shame, wouldn't it? No. The other piece, coming back to the Canadiens, is Ty Smilmanek. He's the latest member of the Habs hair metal band, check it out. He's a 2020 third-round draft pick of the Florida Panthers. Statistically speaking, he hasn't been too bad, alright? His point-per-game average seems to have gone down a little bit this year compared to last, but nothing too drastic. Everybody's saying he's got lots of speed, he drives the net, he's got a good work ethic, and they really make it sound like he could potentially turn into another bottom 6 forward in the NHL someday, kinda like a poor man's turkey. Possible, But to be honest with you, it is what it is. He's a 20-year-old prospect to add to the cupboard right now, and I'm not gonna get, crazy excited about him or anything like that until he gives me a reason to be. But one thing I am excited for is the first round of the next 2 drafts. Woo! As for Ben Chiarot himself, it's kinda sad seeing him go. I wish him nothing but the best. In fact, I hope he goes on and wins a cup. He deserves it. Florida will have a stacked team this year heading into the playoffs, and adding Chiarot into the mix is really going to beef up that blue line. Now, if you're new here and you're a Florida fan and for some sick reason you find yourself on this channel right now, you're going to love playoff Ben, okay? Let me tell you. This guy turns into Freddy Krueger come playoff time. He's a big, mean, scary bastard. One more thing I gotta say on the departure of Chiarot is that I'm glad he didn't go to Toronto because that would have sucked. Gee! So, before class is dismissed, sit down, we got a couple of more interesting notes here. Before Ben Chiarot left, he did have a press conference, but he also had a one-on-one sit-down with our boy Eric Ingles pretty recently, and he made some interesting comments that I want to throw out here. Number one, he really praised the new head coach, Marty St. Louis. He would say that not only has St. Louis been a refreshing change for the young kids of the team, but it's been great for everyone. Chiarot claimed he was having some of the best fun of his NHL career since Marty St. Louis began coaching the Habs. Imagine. It's gonna be really awkward one day down the road when, people start calling for Marty's head, because we always do eventually, right? Anyway, moving on. I like him too. On to interesting comment number 2. Ben Chiarot thinks that Nick Suzuki is captain material right now. In fact, he even named him his captain. Whoa, how's that for praise? And finally, interesting comment number 3. Those of you that are angry that he's gone is going to love this one. Chiarot claims that he's open to returning to Montreal when the season ends. So there you go. Maybe you didn't see the last of him. Now, I doubt this actually happens. Players, they say these kind of things all the time, but you never know, alright? Anyway, guys, that does it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on the Chiarot trade down in the comments section. Are you happy or what? Let me know all about it. Special birthday shout out here to my boy Charles Edward Richer, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. I'm not sure what kind of gifts he got, but one that I do know he received was a first-round draft pick in 2023. Anyway, don't forget to tear apart the thumb of the like button on the way out of here, and hey, I'll see you next time.